Welcome everybody to the JKeSport Tier 2 round 24 from Austria this week in the Red Bull Ring circuit. I'm joined this week by Jacko in the commentary box. Jacko, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderfully, thank you, Scavney. And how
Awesome.
are you doing?
Pretty good myself. Looks like we have some wet weather here, at least for qualifying in this session. Definitely going to make for an interesting championship finale. Of course, the main drama to note this week is the title deciding race between Shelly the Turtle and Johnny. Currently, the gap is 23 points with Shelly in the lead, and an 8th place finish will guarantee him the title. So, a lot on the line tonight. Jacko, what do you think we're going to see tonight?
Well, it has to be a really careful race, in my opinion, from Shelley. He doesn't want to risk his retirement or anything like that. Whereas Johnny really has to go for it and make sure he scores, first or second really, and hope that something goes wrong for Shelley. Yeah, that's the main thing, and the other note to that is that VTEC is right there. He could take second away from Johnny if things go wrong from him. Obviously not as important, possibly, but still something to consider.
Absolutely, still a lot up for grabs. It looks like, according to some of the drivers tonight, we have a dry session for the race. So just a bit of quality rains, which will offset the strategies a bit. Should be an easy one stop tonight, but could throw a spanner in the works. Definitely a difficult circuit. Should be fun.
Don't forget that these guys are going to have free choice of tyre to start the race. May not even see softs, depending on how these guys want to run that race. Certainly there might not be softs at the start. You might see a lot of mediums, is my guess.
Absolutely. Definitely a lot of different ways we can go. It looks like we have a few guys out on track already. The first of those is going to be Monkey Mafia, heading in towards the final couple of corners now. So we'll take a quick lap of this Red Bull Ring circuit. Jacko, why don't you take us around the circuit?
Alright, I'm on board with the Aston Martin as you suggested. And down towards turn 1 he goes. This would be a DRS straight if it was dry. Of course in the race it will be as well. Hammering down the gears, third gear, probably a good idea for that gear in that particular corner in these conditions. This is another straight with DRS in the dry, and the third straight will be after this next right-hander here, which is the slowest part of the track, and possibly the best overtaking point on the track as well. Many corners you can make it past though, including the next one, and here is this final DRS straight as I mentioned. Very quick first and second sectors, but then this infield part, very slow and technical. Some blind corners can be difficult to make the apex at certain places. And here we see, hopefully this Alpine going to get out of the way. It's possibly Walking Monkey at this point. Very tough corner here, you've got to make sure you don't run over that curb, otherwise you're going to find yourself with an invalid lap time. As are many of these corners, in fact, including these last two sweepers, and that was very close to invalid. I'm not sure if it was.
Looks like he has gone invalid.
Stephen does not get out of the way, the lap is balked. So that will be Monkey with a severe unhappy face, and I think I would have started this next lap a bit further back. Thankfully for him, in these conditions you can go for multiple laps in a row, and it seems that's what his plan is, although I think it was invalid anyway.
Yeah, he did run wide there at the exit of that, in that last corner in the middle sector. Onto that last straight, did run a little bit wide.
So I can say that.
Absolutely, yeah. So it looks like both Williams drivers going into the 112s already. Of course, still a long way to go in this session, and of course, it will always get faster as the rubber grooves in. Was that Stephen A? Yes.
Yeah, he got a bit too heavy on the throttle coming out of turn, what is that, turn 4?
Depends how you count them.
Yeah. I think it's 3, right? Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
And Shelley the Turtle has retired, so what has happened there? We need to get on board with VTEC. He will be next on the scene if the car isn't cleared off before then.
Looks like maybe a bit too much inside curve on the right hand. King can just spun off into the inside. That's what I would say.
As well. VTEC's invalid at that point as well. Yeah, Shelley, hard to see which part of the car was damaged. Must have been the front right.
That's what it appears to be. Throw some more drama into the title race. Still going to be
not super costly right now, but that's how easy it is to lose the car, and in the race that will be curtains for him, especially if Johnny, nerdy average gamer as it says his gamer tag is, is where he is now.
Exactly. Looking very pacey already. A few other guys throwing up lap times. Chris Money at 13.8, Monkey Mafia at 27.6, so possibly looking just to get a time on the board, and we'll be back for a quicker run. Silent Banshee going to the top at 12.7.
I can tell you that Monkey Mafia definitely rolled off the throttle when he saw the Alpine spinning in front of him, so he took it easy after that.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea for him, but a lot of these guys in the 112s, a very competitive grid at the front of the field.
Super close. The spread between first and fifth is about 2.5 tenths, just less than about 2.5 tenths actually in top.
That's Chris Money out. That's the same spot as the track.
Shelley, yeah.
D-Mac does go fastest at the 112.5, and Monkey Mafia will follow him through with a 13.4.
The McLaren is actually right in the middle of the track, thankfully for his teammate not on the racing line, but very much distracting.
Oh yeah. That definitely could be another challenge that these guys have to face. Looks like Sketcher hadn't validated that previous lap. He's going to go again. Secret into the pits, as will be Valentine. So everybody likely getting their first runs out of the way and finished. Maybe refueling and set for another run.
Absolutely. So, of course, we should mention this is the second running of this race. Austria had been much earlier in the season, but something went wrong in Tier 2. Perhaps you can fill everyone in on exactly what happened.
Yes, there was some issues with the lobbies, and there were drivers driving in different sessions and at the same time, and it was a very, very big mess, and took a long time to sort out. So that is why it's been rescheduled for tonight.
Makes sense. Codemasters never cease to amaze, and we've had another car around at the same corner, this time not out of the session.
Is that D-Mac? It is. Provisional pole sitter.
I think he's recovered though. Yeah, weird place to be sitting if you're just letting people through. Risking disqualification going, still. No speed.
Absolutely.
Gadza is though purple, so we might see a new benchmark.
Yep,
there it is.
112.4. I imagine we'd see those times continue to drop as we get even further on in the session, especially once the racing line starts to rubber in.
Yeah, well, we don't know whether the conditions are going to improve or stay the same or even get worse. But obviously the guys will have bankers that get more confidence in the track, in their driving in these conditions, so it's likely that they're going to get faster even if the conditions stay the same.
Absolutely. That is another thing I didn't consider, the possibility of the conditions getting worse. We do have Monkey Mafia in the chat. Yes, Jacko is back with me this week. Very excited to close out the season. Should be a fun one.
Absolutely, Monkey. But get your eyes back on the track. We need to see you higher than 9. We know you are better than that.
Looks like Johnny was about to go for another flyer, but ran just a bit wide at turn 1, so that's going to result in an invalidation there. Look to Scatzer, even another 2 tenths up through the first 2 sectors here, so looking very rapid early on.
In fact, shouting out Monkey Mafia, he was the inaugural Tier 2 champion. This was in Season 2, and we're now Season 4, so we have a reigning, well, not a reigning champion, but a past champion in the house in the form of Monkey Mafia.
That is correct, yes. That was a very tight championship battle that too. I believe very tight, so hopefully we see another dramatic battle this week. Looks like Limchak is going out for another lap for the Haas, as well as I think that is VTech who's currently on track. One of 2 drivers yet to set a time.
On board with Johnny, he's about to start his next lap. That was an invalid one he just completed. See how he goes. He's currently 6th, and possibly a little bit late on the brakes there, but recovers it nicely.
It's going to be important for him to get a good qualifying position, because especially with Shelley starting from the back of the grid, he's going to want to force Shelley to almost play a different strategy in order to maintain that gap. So he's going to want to put in a pretty good lap here. He's just, again, not too far off the front, so definitely could be a thing here soon. Looks like there's an AlphaTauri off at the middle sector. I think is as Valentine has gone for a spin. Hopefully he can recover that.
It's not his day yet. That's on Monday.
Oh yeah. Took me a sec to make that connection, but could be one to watch out for here on the eve of Valentine's Day.
Right, here comes Johnny. Not sure how far up he is, but he's going to be completing this lap in a few seconds.
Actually does not improve.
Doesn't improve.
I did catch he was on his second sector split. He was a bit up on his time, so maybe a bit of a mistake in the final sector, but absolutely could improve on that lap here in the last 6 minutes. I believe Secret is going to be next for Red Bull. Using up all the track in the final couple of corners. And yet he cannot improve. So seeing a bit of a mixed bag here. Esso does jump up to 6th, just ahead of Monkey Mafia. Silent Banshee, he cannot improve as well. So his time's not falling as quickly as I would have expected them to.
Yeah, it's tough to say what exactly is going on, but Skadster's got a big margin at the moment, so that'll be tough to knock off. Just having a look at the standings myself, I knew that Tier 1 had a lot of different winners this season, with 13 out of 24 races. But these guys, there's been 11 different winners as well in Tier 2, and I think that's quite astounding that both tiers have had similar numbers in that regard.
It's been quite competitive so far this season. Lots of different guys when you're racing at the front, very close battles. Johnny does go second at 112.4, but still almost 4/10 off the McLaren.
Oh, he spins it though on the exit. Clearly has a lot of fuel, which is the right way to go in these conditions, so you can have many laps in a row. Hopefully for him he can now get back to the pits, fix another set of inters, and go for another last maybe 2 laps.
Yeah.
But P2 on the leaderboard at the start will be decent for him. Oh, it's now P3, but those top 2 positions are what he needs as he now falls down another position.
Yeah, the Red Bull's Secret and Banshee. Banshee had just invalidated, but he was on for 112.3, which would have put him third. Both Red Bulls were very quick last week in Russia. Were battling each other the entire race long for the race victory, so they could be a good shot for tonight. Looks like a couple more guys have invalidated once again. Stephen A is the next driver on a clean lap at the moment.
A crazy parallel I can actually see drawn here is that Williams have had drivers who have been up top in both championships, but none of them have won. Johnny in this league, second with a chance of winning it tonight. Hasn't had a win, neither did T Widow in Tier 1, and he was running second for a long time.
That's just interesting now that you noticed that. Yeah, it seems like, again, a lot of those guys, they've been very consistent so far, just haven't been able to connect it, and it's definitely been true for drivers in both of these tiers so far, which is pretty cool to see. Oh, and that's Stephen A who's out of the session. The exit of turn 3. This car is doing a little moonwalk.
It's the second time he spun at the exact same place, so maybe some traction issues there for the Alpine.
I'm keeping an eye on this car. It's doing a little moonwalk back onto the racing line here.
What? It'll be Silent Banshee approaching that location next. See if anything untoward happens.
Shouldn't be too much of an issue there, although that is one of the more difficult traction zones on the circuit. Imagine we might see a couple drivers having issues with that tonight. Valentine is next, but he was not able to improve in that previous lap. Monkey Mafia very nearly even on his time through the first 2 sectors. Does jump up to 5th. His time's continuing to drop here. Yeah, it's still only 3 minutes left in the session, but nobody's been able to touch Skadster's time at the top.
Yeah, Skadster doing a fantastic job. You know, 2/10 is no sneezing margin, especially at such a short track as Austria, which in the dry, as we know, is like a 1 minute 4 or 5. So, yeah, it's not like
Absolutely.
It's
Skadster, he's been very competitive at a lot of the races this season, but he's had just a couple issues here and there, but definitely one to look out for tonight, especially with the pace he's showing so far. This VTEC, he's next across as well. AlphaTauri still in the hunt for the Constructors' Championship. That's another thing to keep an eye out on as this race unfolds. Oh, and that's Limchek out at the final corner. Just a little too early on the throttle, and that's cost him dearly there.
So we need to know, is Valentine a full-time driver or is he a reserve who won't score points for AlphaTauri?
That is actually crucial. He is a reserve, making actually his Tier 2 debut tonight. So
right. So it's SpeedTech basically versus Johnny.
That's correct, because DMAC is reserving for Williams as well. So it's a head-to-head battle right now.
Which means Williams have already won, no?
I suppose it has, yes.
Alright, so we'll concentrate on the Drivers' Championship then.
My mistake there. But I have forgotten about the reserves there. But DMAC is next across. Currently sitting in 6th, but only needs about a 10th to jump up to 3rd. Monkey Mafia throwing some bananas
session
in the
is
chat.
over because he's now entering the pits and there's only 1 minute and a half left.
Yep, that looks like he's going to have to settle for 10th place, which is not the worst thing considering how easy it is to overtake around here, although the DRS trains could prove to be quite difficult to navigate. But looks like SO on a lap at the moment for Alfa Romeo. Only a couple tenths off of Skadster. He's well ahead of the rest of the field, so he could have an opportunity here to break pole position.
1 minute left here. 4 cars on out laps, and 4 further cars are on their lap. The rest are over and out.
So it's actually well down on his time here, so perhaps setting himself up to go again for one final run in this session. We'll have to see if he's able to recover any of that lap time here in the final sector. He's got one of the Red Bulls just behind. I think that is Banshee actually. To start his flying lap, as well as DMAC for Williams. He's actually improved.
Invalidation there for Sognum. That sucks.
But that's going to be his session pretty much over. Sketchers through the final corner now. He's nearly a 10th up on his time. I think he's just about going to be able to get to the line.
He can go for another lap as well.
And it does, breaking into the 111s. I don't think Valentine got to the line in time.
That's the continuing as well.
Oh, and Johnny's just invalidated at the final corner, so that's going to be his session over. We'll start
very wide. He was up though, so we'll see if he can maintain tonight this last few corners.
He's definitely he doesn't need to improve by that much in order to gain a few positions. 2 tenths up. That's unfortunate for Scatzer. He does have quite a gap at the front though, so I think he should be pretty good. Banshee has shown some good qualifying pace so early on this season. Let's see if he can finish out this lap. Through the final corner and up to the line. Onto the grass. Third place.
It's an improvement up to 3rd.
That's this whole lap right there. DMAC has invalidated, as has SO. So I believe that is going to be the end of the session. So Scatzer, despite not having a wing at the moment, will be on pole. That's one way to roll into Parc Ferme. The only driver into the 111s.
Very nice.
This is going to set up...
Yeah, I have to say, Banshee, I think, probably would have had 2nd place if he hadn't got the sideways moment. But being sideways is better than being invalid. So
absolutely.
P3 I think he'll take.
Only 4 100ths off of the front row, but definitely not too big of a factor or too big of an issue for him here in Austria. He had a brilliant start last week in Russia. Started from the back of the grid and was all the way up to 6th place before the end of the first lap. So that's a very good start so far this season. We'll have to see if he can have another one of those tonight. Looking at the championship contenders, it will be Shelley from the back of the grid in 13th, and Johnny will be in 6th place. He needs, I believe he needs at least a podium tonight to have any sort of contention. So we'll have to see if he can make that work.
Let's just confirm that. 23-point difference.
He's also got the opportunity for the fastest lap as well, which is an extra 1 point bonus point.
Yeah, so he needs 3rd and fastest lap, or 2nd at least, and that's not factoring in any Shelley points.
Absolutely.
So we had 8 tenths cover the top 10. That's very close.
especially in the wet conditions. It was Skadster on pole, Esso in second, Silent Banshee in third, alongside his teammates Secret in fourth. That's D-Mac in fifth, Johnny sixth, Monkey Mafia seventh, Stephen A is eighth, and it's both Alpha Towers, Valentine, and VTech ninth and 10th. Limchak 11th, Chris Money 12th, and championship leader Shelly the Turtle will round out the grid in 13th.
And we really hope it's not the case, but something that could affect this race. Shelley has no teammate, whereas Johnny does, and that teammate is in front of him. So if there's any safety cars at an important moment, stacking may be a problem for Johnny, definitely won't be a problem for Shelley.
Absolutely. Just another one of the things on a long list of things to consider throughout, I believe, all 36 laps tonight. It is a dry race, but the possibility of a safety car throwing a spanner in the strategy definitely still a factor here. I think it's going to be quite a dramatic ending to this race. It's been tight racing all season. I think tonight will be no different.
Absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see if anyone readies up early here, because what's the penalty going to be?
Absolutely. I believe before it has carried over to next season if needed, but well, tonight being the season finale, I mean, we'll have to see. Looks to be pretty clean so far, though.
Alright, well, I'm looking forward to this one. Will we see the second animal to win Tier 2? We've had Monkey Mafia. Will we see Shelly the Turtle?
Absolutely, yeah.
Of course, the other champion in Tier 2 was Rockstar Vanka, I believe.
Yep, and then unless you're calling Gunther Stein or anybody else from Haas an animal, I mean, that'd be a bit of a stretch right there, but should be a fun one tonight regardless. Any way too early predictions for this race?
Oh, I have no clue, man. This is really close. I just hope we see a race where it's not over straight away championship-wise. It goes down to the last lap.
For sure. I mean, the Red Bulls both of them have been very quick as of late. I think they, even from the middle of the grid, I think they're going to be ones to look out for sure. Shouldn't take them too long to find their way at the front.
Yeah. I think Shelley will make his way forward, but he needs to be not super aggressive, just needs to finish the race, essentially. Everything's really still in his hands.
Absolutely. Even although finishing the race would be huge for him, that won't absolutely guarantee him the title. He will have to make up a few positions, but we know he has the pace to do it. We've seen him do it quite a few times already this season, especially with so much on the line. Definitely will be one to look out for here. Should be getting set to go any second here.
Did you have a prediction for the race winner or even the championship winner?
I mean, if I had to make a prediction, I'd say Banshee's been looking good. He has shown good pace and quality, as we've seen, and we know his race pace is fantastic. If he can keep it out of the wall, which is going to be crucial, so he definitely has the pace.
Yeah, I mean, we have no idea of the dry pace of these guys either.
For sure.
Skadster was fantastic in the wet, but you don't know if he'll be set up for the wet, the dry, in combination with the others as well.
It's possible some of those guys went with a wet setup, although that would put them in a bit of a disadvantage for this Grand Prix, but definitely a thing to consider. But the timer is about set to go, so we're about to get underway here for the Tier 2 Season 4 season finale from Austria. And the field is on the grid, getting set for the formation up. We'll take a look at the tire selections everybody has made. Bit of a split decision as we expected, so pretty even Stevens.
No hards. No hards. Possibly predictable that there's no hards, to be fair.
For sure.
Especially right, it is even.
We've got the Skadster, then it's Banshee, Secret, Johnny, Monkey Mafia, Stephen A, and Limchek, all electing for the soft compound tires. And it's Esso, D-Mac, Valentine, VTech, Chris Money, and Shelly the Turtle with the mediums. So, pretty much a one-stop either way, but Esso with the mediums on the front of the grid. We'll have to see if he can hold that position off the race start. Might be a bit challenging for him.
Yeah, and it'll be key to see if Johnny can pass his teammate. There's a lead Williams if there is a safety car. Even though perhaps if there's an early safety car, the medium drivers may stay out, so it may not be an issue at this point.
Absolutely. I have a feeling the safety car will play a factor into the strategy of these guys tonight. Definitely possible around a circuit like Austria.
Got to be really careful actually, you don't get lapped at this trip back, it's so short. If you have any sort of problem, a puncture or anything like that,
that as well.
It's almost inevitable.
Especially if a spin out of turn 1, break a wing, that's an awful long way to get back to the pit lane. The field coming through the final couple of corners now on the formation lap. Fairly long run down to turn 1, but it can get tight very quickly. And we're set. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights from Austria. And they're off here from the Red Bull ring. Looks to be a pretty good start from Sketster. Both Red Bulls getting a good jump on the outside. That is Banshee and Second Secret trying to go around the outside as well. There's a little bit of contact. That's DMAC going a bit wide. There's a spin. That is Valentine who's gone around. A couple other guys involved. I think Monkey Mafia might have gotten caught up in that. But Valentine seems to have caught the worst of it. Things sorting themselves out in front. Esso down 2 positions off the start. Secret on the back of Banshee. But both Red Bulls up a place already. And crucially, Shelly the Turtle up to 8th.
Wasn't the greatest start for Johnny there, although he did recover 1 position. It was just a sort of a poor launch, but then after that, decent recovery. Sognim, obviously, with the less grippy tyre off the line, just didn't get the traction he needed and had both Red Bulls fly around the outside of him, and they're now battling between each other for second place.
Very tight battling, and Secret is giving it all on the line here. He's going up the inside down towards turn 9. Can he make it stick? I think he's going to.
Ooh, Shelley has no left end plate. He's just lost a couple of positions and he's going to enter the pits right now, as is Limp Check, I think.
Yep, that is crucial. I can imagine we'll see Valentine. Actually, he's going to carry on, so perhaps he's made it through. Okay, there was a bit of chaos near the back of the field on that race start. So Shelley crucially in the pits, and he started on this medium tires, which is not going to be ideal for him.
Yeah, second set of mediums are the choice at the moment for the championship leader. Yeah, new front wing. Not a great start, but he's not out of the race either.
Absolutely, quite a long way to go. Johnny, I saw going into turn 1. There's a little bit of a sandwich. I think it was Stephen A. who was in a Williams sandwich there going into turn 1, so just a little bit of argy-bargy there. Somehow they made it through. But Johnny and Stephen A. scrapping away for 6th now.
Alpine has a great run on him actually, but he's on the outside. Tough place to make a move, bit of contact as well.
Yeah, that's a difficult section to make a move because you got the inside coming out of for that right-hander, and then it just becomes the outside and completely ruins all the momentum. So, oh, that's Esso going for a big slide at the penultimate corner. How has he kept that out of the wall?
He spun back the other way. Oh God! Oh no!
Just as I say, he keeps it out of the wall. He's gone into the wall, and the virtual safety car is out. So that was.
I mean, that's so unfortunate.
He had some major crash after. I thought he was going to catch it. Did such a nice job to keep it off the inside wall. And just drifted too far right into the outside wall. I was just about to say he was doing a nice job of sticking with the soft rotors at the front of the field. And then he's gone into the wall. So just a virtual safety car though, which is not ideal for Shelley.
No, Shelley would definitely have preferred a full safety car, but now he's 11th and he's just a bit closer to the position he needs to guarantee himself the title. So
absolutely.
Works both ways.
Another thing to consider is we are back underway. Sketcher's already opened up a 1.5 second lead over these Red Bulls. I imagine that scrapping they were doing before has affected that a little bit. They've opened up quite a gap to the rest of the field though.
Oh, Skadster's around. There's a new leader. Lost it in the same place we've seen a couple of the guys spin in the wet qualifying session.
He's managed to get it back going. Sketcher did a good job keeping it back going there, but I'd imagine we'd see him into the pits then. Unless he did manage to keep
very hot tires.
He must have managed to keep his wing clean though, because he is staying out. We've got B-Tech looking to the inside of Chris Money, but just not quite close enough there.
Sketster really back on it straight away, surprisingly.
He's really doing a nice job fighting up as Johnny's gone back up the inside of Stephen A. Tried to get it done at turn 3, and there was a bit tentative through there, but he's through. Almost had a Leclerc Verstappen moment there. Luckily, they made it through. No damage seems to be done. Scaster and VTech down into turn 4 as well, side by side. And Scaster's going to be forced to drop back in line.
This time last lap he was not facing the right way. I don't know, maybe that was a warning. What do you think there on the curb? Oh, here comes Valentine out of nowhere.
He got quite a nice run through there. It's not usually a traditional overtaking spot. We've seen already a couple guys making moves there. Valentine looking very pacey on the mediums. Looking back and forth.
Scaster was a bit tentative, having spun their last lap, and that was just enough for Valentine to pounce on.
Possibly. We've got Stephen
Banshee now makes a move for the lead.
Multiple battles going on at the same time. Secret's going to try to switch back, but he's not going to. He is going to have the DRS actually, so he might be able to fight back down towards turn 4. He's going to take the inside line. I think he's going to have the move done, and he will.
I thought we were about to see contact between teammates there, but just a bit of a sort of a connectivity thing going on, I think.
Johnny went up the inside of Stephen A once again. These two have been swapping places like crazy. Up the inside of turn 4, and Johnny's back in front. These guys, crucially though, losing on loads of time to the leaders ahead of them.
Yeah, DMAC in a really good position here, being on those mediums and not far behind the leaders, with no one behind him to really trouble him at this stage.
Absolutely. The only thing that would make it better is if he can get within that DRS and just pull himself back up to the lead too. I'll have to see if he can do that. Banshee's, we thought about looking to turn 1, but wisely backed out of it.
Oh, Shelley with a penalty, that's not what you want to see.
Not the greatest of starts for the championship leader, but still a long way to go. A lot of things can change. Got a bit of a DRS train building up now behind Johnny, who's currently in 4th. This goes all the way down to Scadster in 10th. That caused a bit of headaches for these guys.
Looks to the outside of his teammate. Oh, there's enough space. Good job by both of them.
Seen multiple side-by-side battles through this section already, and Secret takes the inside into the left-hander there, and I think he's just about going to seal him off. Benji thought about fighting back, but backed out of that again. More teammates going side-by-side. Valentine, yeah, up into 8th. And here comes Scadster as well. Hasn't been able to recover as many positions as we expected him to. I think VTech heading into the pits here. Perhaps picking up some wing damage or something.
Bit of a look there from Banshee at Secret into turn 1, but realised it wasn't the place to do it. Knows he's going to have some DRS up and towards turn 3. Well, I mean, well past before the braking zone.
Oh yeah.
But then the teammate will have the DRS in the next straight, which will probably see him back past. That's a limp check facing the wrong way in the middle sector.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen him spun around early on so far tonight. Stephen A got past Johnny as well up to turn 3. So turn 3 is seeming to be the best overtaking spot. Turn 1, it's a bit tricky to get a move done there, especially with how awkward the curves are. So we're seeing a lot of guys choose to play patient and wait for the easier turn 3 we're seeing so far.
Yeah, but you mentioned DMAC needed to be within that second, and he is now, crucially. And he'll be towed along if he can stay within that for the next few corners.
Absolutely. I think he's just about going to be within the detection point here. So looking very rapid on these mediums. Of course, I believe he had a strong race last week in Russia. Was fighting for the podium. Looking to be in that same position again tonight. Well, Secret had a big wobble through there.
Secret actually super low on ERS, so Banshee actually has a pretty good advantage here.
Oh, we are 3 wide up towards turn 3. Monkey Mafia on the inside. Through the grass, Alex Albon style. And now he's going to get past both of them. A very daring move, and I think he's going to make it stick. Stephen A go a bit of switchback.
Multiple times there. Stephen into the back of Johnny. Johnny into the side, I think, of Monkey Mafia.
Lovely stuff here. Johnny's looking for a run. Stephen A covers off the inside, though. And somehow they make it through without any contact there. And here comes Valentine looking for some space.
Behind. I wonder if Johnny has some in-play damage. It's hard to tell.
It's definitely
Valentine
possible.
definitely just knocked one of the foam boards out of the way.
Yep, I believe that was the 50-meter board that just met its death right there. Banshee.
Silent Banshee now with a penalty.
Yeah, we're starting to see that become a factor here, so keeping it clean is also going to be crucial.
Absolutely.
D-Mac doing a nice
Stephen
job.
A. dropping a wheel there, that was close.
These guys all chasing Monkey Mafia. These guys have dropped over 6 seconds off of the lead group now. This scrapping is coming at a cost for them all. I think we're about to see Monkey Mafia get swallowed up here down the straight.
Same time, Secret goes past Banshee for the lead. They maintain it there, side by side.
Oh, that was a bit touch and go through there. Over the curb, somehow they didn't make contact. And once again, they're side by side. Banshee's not going to be able to hold the inside though. We'll have to back off.
D-Mac is right there, waiting to pounce on a mistake from either of these guys.
Johnny fighting back around the outside of Stephen A into turn 6. Oh, there's a little bit of contact again. And now here comes Valentine. On the curb, that's very risky. Somehow he kept traction though. Has to back out of that. Secret is into the pits. Seems a bit early. Possibly some wing damage.
Really?
Or perhaps going to a set of hard tires. We'll have to see.
That looks like mediums to me, possibly a 2-stop. Needs to get out of that train though, because he's got that penalty to offset.
Absolutely. Maybe possibly going for a
no,
very...
it doesn't. It's Secret. Secret did not Banshee.
Yeah, maybe he's going for a very aggressive undercut here, although those meteors are going to be hurting at the end of the race if he does try to take them to the end. D-Mac thought about challenging Banshee, but wasn't close enough. And Stephen A to the outside of Monkey Mafia. He's not quite clear though.
Back down the inside though. Leaves enough space. Clean stuff.
They're still going at it down towards turn 6.
Raises the hand. Oh, I don't know about that. Pushes him wide into a penalty as well, and he's not happy. Monkey's not happy.
There goes Johnny's going to take an opportunistic move and try to get through, but Monkey Mafia is not done yet. He's still there alongside Johnny. Thought about looking for it. Is he going to go for it? Yes, he is. Oh, there might have been a bit of a lag there.
Thankfully, backing out, I think.
And Chris Money's getting past Valentine as well. Sketzer's into the pits.
Wise, I think, by Sketzer to get out of this pack. Has a lot of pace, as we know.
This is a hornet's nest right now at the moment. Is that Monkey Mafia now? Oh, there's a little contact. 3 wide.
Contact.
How did they make it through that once again? And they are still side by side. Stephen A.
Oh, there's definitely going to be wing damage for a lot of people, I think. Chris Money is one of them. He certainly ran into the back of Stephen. And Stephen, I think, got some damage running into the back of Monkey. Valentine pounces on all of that.
Oh, and Stephen A.
Further contact. Jeez. I cannot believe Monkey is not been spun out by that.
I think Stephen A. just missing the braking point a little bit there with the lack of downforce, so he's definitely going to be into the pits.
He's struggling on the brakes.
That's promoted Johnny up into third.
With also damage has more grip. Stephen's nowhere near the track here. Oh, is he going to miss the wall? We didn't miss the wall, but he didn't die either. Oh.
Hopefully he should be able to get that back to the pit lane when he's having...
He spins. Monkey's gone. In the pit lane? Shelley spins.
Everything kicking off here at the moment.
What's going on?
Valentine's getting past Johnny. Everything was kicking off here in the last few laps.
Yeah,
Shelley with another penalty as well.
Yeah, he rejoined across the pit exit, not pit entry, sorry.
I don't think he's picked up any wing damage though, but he's still a long way back. Valentine and Johnny still side by side, fighting for third place. So perhaps the medium's starting to kick in here as D-Mac has gotten past Banshee as well in all the chaos.
Yeah, D-Mac looking very strong right now. Banshee though going to continue, and I think maybe 2 or 3 more laps will see him in a good window to go to the mediums to the end of the race.
Absolutely, he can work on just conserving right now at the moment behind VTAC, although I think he's going to go for the move here. Back up into the race lead. Crucially, those guys have pulled a 10-second gap to the rest of the field.
Shelley now in that 8th place, which was key for his championship, of course, though that only depends on if Johnny can win the race, and also Shelley has some penalties to, which will put him definitely behind Chris for one.
Absolutely. Shelley's still having to make at least one more stop in this race. That's another thing to consider, so definitely far from over. Johnny and Valentine again side by side. Valentine trying to hold around the outside. I think he's going to be able to. And he has on his
the
moves.
Inside of Shelley. Shelley absolutely up and unders him. Great move there on well older tyres.
He's got the DRS too to defend it down towards turn 4.
Monkey Mafia very unhappy with Stephen, unfortunately. So I guess we might see some steward stuff going on there.
Johnny up the inside of Valentine. That was some very tight racing through there. Surprised it didn't.
Robust move there by the Williams. Gets it done there.
He's got the DRS to prevent Valentine from fighting back as well, at least up into the next braking zone. So Johnny's going to want to drive away and get himself into a bit of clean air here. He's almost at his pit window, so this scrapping is not what he wants. Chris Money has got past Shelley as well.
Will we see Banshee pitting this lap? If he can hold out even a few more laps, that would be so beneficial if it stays green the whole race. But is it about time? No, he doesn't. Okay, I think that's encouraging for him.
And taking a look, the secret, who he was scrapping with before, is only 17 seconds off of this group, so definitely going to be able to come out ahead. Banshee's likely going to come out behind them, and then, albeit on much fresher tires, so will definitely be something to watch.
Banshee absolutely streaking up to the back of the Williams. A very thoughtful position there to not make a move. Wait for this next straight. Should have it done. Both of them deploying the ERS.
And D-Mac went a little bit deep into turn 3, and Banshee's going to try to take advantage of that. Oh, there's a slight bit of contact, but they make it through. Johnny and Valentine swapping places once again. Valentine defending the inside. Johnny trying to go the long way around. Again, that inside is beneficial in the first apex. Son of Banshee still out on that set of soft tires, so.
As is Johnny. Both of them starting on those softs. The other two drivers yet to pit, as Johnny does pit. On mediums, Valentine and D-Mac. Everyone else has made a stop.
Yep, Johnny perhaps not wanting to get caught up in that scrap for third anymore, or perhaps those tires have just reached a breaking point. I mean, 15 laps, that's quite a distance, albeit these are completely fresh tires, having not been used in qualifying.
Oh, it's a new front wing for Johnny, so he was running with damage, or at least for a few laps maybe.
Yeah, that could have definitely hindered his pace quite a bit, but. And I hope it's actually not going to put him out behind this battle for 8th.
No, I think he's clear. Skadster, though, has made a lot of time by making that earlier pit stop.
Yeah, he's actually on the same strategy as Secret, which I believe they're aiming for the 2-stop here. We'll have to see. I mean, the mediums, they would have to go 24 laps, I believe. As we see Banshee is
now in the pits. Final soft starter into the pits, that is. Great stint from him. No penalty, and also, you know, that close to the lead. As D-Mac, who is running with, picks up a penalty.
Yep, that's going to put Secret back into the net lead of this race, although he is quite a ways back from D-Mac, who is going to be very rapid in the second half of this race. And Chris Money's actually pulled within the 1 second gap to Johnny, so this could be a 3-way battle here in a minute.
Exactly what Johnny doesn't need. He just needs some clear space to put in some quick laps and make up time. But if he gets someone in his DRS, they get past and it becomes a battle. That's going to be definitely not what he asked for.
And Chris Money gained 4/10 right there just on that straight alone, and he's going to be. He might have an opportunity down towards turn 4 if he can get turn 3 right here. Chris Money on soft tires, of course. Oh, he's gone off the track. Managed to keep it out of the wall. But just as he got within the 1 second.
That could be key, but now Shelley's now the driver within a second of Johnny. And that's now a championship battle, but it's 14 lap difference in terms of tyre wear. Same compound. And that could be interesting.
Absolutely. We'll have to see if Shelley can maintain that gap. He's going to be losing a bit of time through this high downforce middle sector, though. So he might not be quite within range enough for the DRS.
Oh, it's very close.
Oh, he's hit the curb again.
Shelley was pushing too hard for it. Thankfully for him, no loss of a wheel.
And it's the perfect time to go right into the pit lane. So, but still not ideal. He's going to come back out in 11th place after that.
Problem for him is he's used medium so far this race. What car does he put on now?
I'd imagine it'd be the softs and just try to take them as long as possible. And that's what he is going to do. He's got a long way to go there. We're only just at the halfway point.
And in fact, is he going to be lapped?
I think he is going to be tentatively. Although D-Mac, of course, still yet to pit. But that is going to put Shelley 1 lap down.
Yeah, this is not the position you want to be in. If the safety car does come out, there's always a chance the leader may not pit. I mean, obviously they're going to pit in this scenario. But any more problems for Shelley, and he's going to be trapped a lap down.
Absolutely. That could really put a dent in his championship hopes, despite only needing 8th place to secure the title. Just secret.
So what are the chances that Johnny can come second?
It's fairly possible. I think he's in a net P4 at the moment, although if Secret and Scratcher are planning on a 2-stop, that would put him in 2nd place on track. It would just have quite a bit of defending to do at the end of the race. Although, now that I take a look at it, I believe he's actually well out of the gap of D-Mac and maybe even Valentine, so he's got quite a lot of work to do, but still a long way to go.
In fact, finishing 11th, which is the lowest position that's still in the race, will score 5 points. So it is the race win that Johnny will need if Shelley can finish the race. He could have another penalty.
Absolutely, and of course, well, that's is that a McLaren? That's Scadster now has gone for another spin, and the VSC has come out. So this could change things once again. Nobody, none of the leaders are within range for a pit. So, but I don't think anybody's going to really be able to take advantage of that.
Really depends how long it stays out.
That's for sure. Chris Money actually going to duck in. Scadster, of course, after having that spin.
So both McLarens in the pit lane. That might be a slow stop there for Chris. 2 cars coming in actually. Like Stephen and Limchek.
Yeah, Limchek, he was on 16-lap medium, so pretty good timing for there, but I'm a bit surprised to see Stephen A take advantage of that here.
D-Mac does come in.
He does manage to make it around,
early
yeah.
for the softs, but I think it's still the right call.
I mean, we've got 16 laps to go here once they cross the line, and we've seen Banshee extend that first stint 15 laps, so it's definitely plausible. And speaking of Banshee, yeah.
VSC is still out, so it's absolutely the right call.
Oh, and Stephen A picking up the drive-through.
Green flag.
Yep. And just Secret and Banshee are actually a lot closer than I expected. They managed to come out just ahead of D-Mac, but it's only 2 seconds, and D-Mac is on much fresher sauce.
Yeah, for me, D-Mac has to slowly catch up to them, not stress the tyres too much, knowing he needs to preserve them. But he will catch them, definitely.
And of course, Banshee actually did pick up a drive-through under that VSC.
Oh, it was Banshee, was it?
There were 3 of them.
Sorry.
Banshee, Stephen A, and Limchek all picking up drive-throughs under that VSC. So that's going to change things up once again.
It's actually very close between the 3 Honda-powered cars, Valentine, Secret, and Banshee, all in a line of stern. 20-lap old mediums there for Valentine, who does not pit, but into the pits comes Banshee to serve his penalty.
If that's going to promote D-Mac up again to another place, I believe. I believe he will come out ahead of Johnny though. So, well, Secret's going to
Secret. Oh.
I thought he was going to go for that lunge at turn 1. He decided better of it. He should have moved on up towards turn 3 though. And he will. Another thing to consider here for the championship, Shelley only has to make it to the classification point, which in Tier 2 is 80% or lap 29. So, only a few laps away from that. Valentine up the inside of Secret. Still fighting back on these older mediums. But Secret has the race lead.
And of course, if Secret is on a 2-stop, then Valentine is definitely in a race with him right now.
Absolutely. Which, Secret definitely could be taking those tires to the end, considering Valentine has made this stint last over 20 laps now. But it's definitely another thing to keep in mind.
Sure, we don't know how hard these drivers are on their tires, but showing that one can do it does mean obviously everyone else possibly has a chance to.
Ooh, here comes D-Mac as well. He's caught up to this group. And of course, Valentine with the DRS as well. This is making things a bit interesting. Secret going way to the inside.
D-Mac backing out of it. He knows that he has time to make this happen, and in fact, just waits till the corner happens and past he goes. Probably going to get Secret 2 on this straight with DRS.
Secret going way to the inside. So D-Mac going to try to go the long way around with the fresh soft tires. Secret with very late on the brakes.
There from Secret. Fair defense though, I should say.
He was very late on the brakes there. He's managed to keep D-Mac behind, at least for now. But D-Mac's looking very quick on these soft tires.
Shelley now setting the fastest lap, which is worth a point, which could be interesting by the end of this, as Secret gets a massive wobble on between the last 2 corners.
Absolutely. D-Mac is right there. Let's see if he can have the move done before turn 1.
Going to the outside is an invitation for Secret to send it back.
Oh.
Yeah, he does that a lot, but doesn't make the braking in time.
That was very close. And Stephen Ayres, of course, is the ghosted lap car there. Secret holding on the outside. He got the DRS. Actually, he was behind at the detection point, so he was able to use the DRS to defend from D-Mac.
Secret really being very aggressive with his ERS as well. It's almost run out at this point.
That's going to see D-Mac finally through. Hunzi asking about the penalty situation in chat. Most of these guys here are on 3 seconds. Stephen A picked up, he's on 16 seconds due to a 10-second penalty for being off track, so we're going to assume 6 seconds there most likely. And Shelley crucially on 9 seconds. So still fairly even at the top, but VTech and Secret looking good in that regard. Valentine's still out on these medium tires. Actually, he's going to be into the pits this time. Secret already.
24 laps.
I feel like
impressive stint there from Valentine.
He's gone probably a bit longer than I think he needed to, especially with fresh sauce being available, but he's going to be very quick at the end of this race.
Ooh, unlapping himself here is Stephen and the Alpine past Secret.
Of course, he's going to have those.
That could be important if there's a safety car.
Of course, he's going to have those blue flags instantly once he gets through, so that's going to be a bit frustrating for him. But Secret's already dropped 2 seconds to D-Mac ahead.
Yeah, D-Mac needs to make that 3-second gap though at least, and of course his tyres may go, although so will Secret's. So I think D-Mac is in a decent position here if it stays green flag.
Of course, and another crucial thing, Valentine was able, even with the overcut, to come out ahead of Johnny. So he's maintained 4th place on track. So Johnny with a bit more work to do here.
In comes Secret, so this is going to be a 2-stop, 14-lap stint as opposed to 24 from Valentine. Valentine should get the undercut. This is going to be close between Secret and Johnny, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So Johnny's going to want to get ahead of him. It's gonna be very touch and go. Valentine though looking in a very good position for the podium finish.
Yeah, commanding position
Uh-oh.
now. Oh, Shelley leaves the session.
Hopefully that's just an internet issue there. Secret does come out ahead of Johnny, and that's Stephen A. out of the race at the exit of turn 3.
Safety car could be very influential here.
We're still green for the time being. I think I just saw his car reversing. Actually, Stephen A. his car is still going, albeit retired from the race, so it's a bit interesting there. But Valentine is ahead of Secret.
Trying to get Shelley an invite here, but he seems to be offline.
His AI has actually put him back into the pit lane for a fresh set of soft tires.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. He's now going to be nowhere near unlapping himself.
He has made it back into the session, but that is true. He is 1 lap down now. He's very close to the back of Limchek, though, which would be 9th place. Although Johnny currently sitting only in 5th place, but still with a few laps to go. Secret going up the inside of Valentine at turn 3. Valentine was forced to give him the space, but I think he might have a chance at the switchback.
You're absolutely right. Here comes Valentine. And the only difference between their tyres is 1 lap. So it's an even fight, roughly.
Secret's going to try to stick up the inside here, but he's not going to have the grip to do it, and Valentine will be through to hang on to 3rd place. Completely lost all my intervals. But Johnny, he's not too far back off this group. Will be on much older tires, though.
Yeah, I've also lost my intervals. Oh, they're coming back now.
Yeah, crucially, Shelley, he has made the 80%, but he is 1 lap down at the moment. Ooh, Valentine, a bit of a slide through there. Secret should have this move done. Going back to the outside. But Valentine's sticking it up the inside, staying competitive.
Good move there by Secret. Eventually he'll be kicking himself right now because he is 12 seconds off the lead and he just served the drive-through penalty not so many laps ago, so he probably would have been in the lead.
Absolutely, that was absolutely detrimental to his race so far. Oh, Valentine was closed off on the outside, now fighting back the inside.
Oh,
Side by
super
side.
Close. Bit of contact. Hopefully no damage.
I think they've made it through somehow. A very thrilling battle for 3rd, and of course, Valentine's he's going to want to get ahead so he can clear this gap. I think only 3 seconds to go.
Got some yellow flags. That's limp check as Shelley makes that position.
So Shelley now only 1 position out of clinching the title. Valentine and Secret just swapping positions like crazy here. Ooh, Secret with a very late lunge at turn 3. He managed to keep it clean though. Back to the outside.
The only dangerous thing that you can really say for Shelley here is if he does end up staying 9th and there's crashes on the last lap that help Johnny, that won't promote Shelley.
Yeah, that is one thing to think. Ooh, that was very close. Valentine picked up a penalty for that.
He gets forced into a penalty as well.
He might be able to contest that one. Shelley does win the fastest lap point back. Although still 6 laps to go.
Secret very low on ERS, that might be a good sign for Valentine, particularly if he can stay within the DRS. Look at the closing speed, that's unbelievable.
Oh, they're very tight up the corner. Valentine ran a bit deep there, is forced to run off wide. Picked up another time penalty.
His Secret is a super aggressive driver, and I feel like he just needs to tone it down a little bit, and he'll be having a few less collisions. But otherwise, the idea was there, but I think he closed it up a bit too much.
Definitely, yeah, just a bit over-ambitious, I think, but he has managed to hold on to the position for the time being, but this has been a very competitive battle so far.
Sure has, and it's for their final step on the podium at the moment as well.
Is Valentine back into the
pits?
pits?
I think it's over though. Yeah, Valentine got damaged there and he's going to enter the pits. So Johnny finds himself another position gained, but he's going to need at least 2 more. And with no one in front of him running super close to each other, it's less and less likely.
Absolutely, and considering Shelley in 9th place with the fastest lap point, that actually gives him 9 points on the day, which would put him, if my maths is correct, 32 points clear. Disregarding Johnny's points, so actually 9th place might be enough here as we approach the final couple of laps.
Yeah, maximum score is 31 from the race because of the 1's for pole, 1 for fastest lap, 30 for the win. Gap coming in was 23, I believe.
Secret currently 5.7 seconds off of Banshee. Although Banshee with that 3-second penalty, we'll have to see if Secret can close that gap just a little bit. Although he doesn't seem to be able to.
Yeah, you're right, 9th place would be enough.
He's just got to keep it going at the moment. He is guaranteed to classify, so unless he would be passed by limp check, he's just got to get through these last 4 laps. He's actually closing up in the back of BMAC as well to unlap himself. Things starting to settle down here for a moment.
Running out of laps for a safety car to be deployed as well, so it will be a safety car-less race unless you count virtual safety cars.
Yep, I believe lap 33 will be the absolute last moment it can be called. Valentine, he is on much fresher sauce than VTEC, but he's got quite a ways to go to catch up. And with those penalties, I don't think he'll be able to contest for that position. Skadster closing up to the back of Johnny as well, but that gap is still over 3 seconds. Even on penalties as well. But DMAC looking very good for his potential maiden win here in Tier 2.
Yeah, and that would be 12 different winners, which should be something to behold as well.
12 runners over 24 races so far.
Oh, there's Valentine now with the fastest lap.
And he's got a
4
long way to
drivers
go.
having gained 4 positions. That's the most moving up the field we've had so far. The most downward who's still in the race. The only one who's lost places still in the race is Skadster. They haven't been the pole sitter. The only other 3 drivers to lose positions are all out of the race.
Absolutely. Skadster, he had a bit of an up and down race. Looked very good in qualifying. He's still on for a decent finish, and he might be able to hunt down Johnny for 4th. Not quite as much as he would have wanted. DMAC crossing onto lap 34 now, just 3 laps to go. Shelley has actually unlapped himself. And Valentine is making up quite a bit of time on VTEC. He's made over almost 4 seconds since that pit stop. I think he's just about going to run out of laps though.
The only other thing to consider now is, did anyone bet on a safety car and underfuel themselves?
Absolutely. We did see that last week in Tier 1 in Russia with Mark of Kenya. He ran out of fuel on the final lap. We'll have to see. Everybody seems to be maintaining decent pace. Nobody seems to be in excessive fuel saving mode, but that is definitely one thing that could factor in here in the final couple of laps. don't think we're going to see any more position changes. There's been quite a lot of overtaking so far.
Yeah, looking at the closest interval is 2.5 seconds between Johnny and Skadster for 4th and 5th.
Absolutely, Skadster was making up ground, but he seems to have stalled out a little bit. Still chipping away, but not quite as much as he would have needed. D-Mac is coming through the middle sector once again. There's a yellow flag, and that is, I think, Chris Money now.
Yeah, Chris Money. And he's going to enter the pits, which will be close on the delta to see if Shelley actually takes 8th as well.
Yeah, Shelley, of course, with the 9 seconds of penalty, might end up costing the position anyway, but Chris is going to have to get a wing change. So should be able to give Shelley the position. D-Mac will go head on to the final lap of the race. 10 seconds clear of Banshee. Has not put a foot wrong all day.
I wonder if Shelley's going to get blue flags here, because he's been swapping positions with the leader.
Looking at the signboards, I don't see any.
Would be tragic if he got disqualified.
Well, that's Limchek who's had a spin. Still sitting in 10th though, so shouldn't play too much of a factor. D-Mac looking very solid. Had that very nice stint on the mediums, which was the crucial thing in getting him into the position for the race win, along with the drive that Banshee picked up. But it's been a great drive from start to finish for D-Mac. Into Sector 3 for the final time. And down towards the penultimate corner. Just got to keep it on track. And around the final corner for Williams, is it going to be D-Mac picking up the race victory here in Austria for Tier 2. D-Mac takes home his first victory.
Banshee.
Yeah, I just noticed that the Delta's gone crazy, and Secret's going to close the gap.
Secret's going to pass him.
And he will. He's not going to pass one track, but he's going to get him on penalty. So you were right, Jacko. You called it. Banshee running out of fuel.
Oh, he did get him on track, actually. Oh, that was close.
Right at the line. So Secret taking home second. Banshee will round out third. Johnny will finish fourth, but it's not going to be quite enough. It was a solid race for him. It was the epitome of the season. Consistent, but not quite enough. Skadster fifth.
VTech also out of fuel, as is Valentine. Oh no, Valentine's not, sorry.
It's multiple drivers. And here's Shelley through the middle sector. I have to wonder if he'll see any donuts here.
Yeah, I was going to say he's the last one on the lead lap, so he may as well slow down and do some donuts. He is your champion.
And finishing 8th place tonight, but it was just enough. Through the final corner. See him downshifting to second gear here.
Don't lose the wheel, that would be funny.
Or get disqualified for driving the wrong way.
20-second penalty. Link check there.
Yeah, he's doing a couple donuts there.
Yeah, not the most graceful donut, but he'll do.
Even if he's got the Williams and one of the Williams going alongside, so a very thrilling race to conclude our Tier 2 season. Shelley somehow was still winning driver of the day.
What?
That is...
Oh yeah, he made 5 positions. That's the most of anyone. 13th to 8th.
So Shelley taking home the Tier 2 championship. Not having the best race, but he did do just enough. D-Mac picking up his maiden victory. Just Secret is second. Banshee rounding out the podium. Johnny will finish 4th. Skadster finishing 5th. VTech is 6th. Valentine 7th. Shelley the Turtle 8th. Chris Money 9th. Limchek does get 10th. Stephen A 11th. Monkey Mafia 12th. And SO 13th. So
and
it's been
a final cruel twist for Williams. They do pick up a victory, but it's a reserve, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, although I do think they still have enough to take home the Constructors' Championship. So well-deserved season for them, very consistent. Although I don't believe either driver are picking up any wins for Williams. And they've come home with the Constructors' title.
Championship still.
Absolutely. So, any final words before we wrap up the broadcast here, Jacob?
Yeah, we should shout out the other Williams driver, of course, was Spaceman, winning the Constructors' Championship alongside Johnny. And big congratulations once again to Shelley the Turtle for winning the Drivers' Championship and D-Mac for that victory.
Absolutely, it's been a great season, and that'll be it for season 4 of JKeSport. We'll see you later.